Science can explain how stars are born, how hearts beat, and how machines recognize faces, yet it still cannot explain the most intimate fact of your existence: why you feel anything at all. It cannot explain why pain hurts, why red looks like red, why love feels different from fear, or why you are not simply a machine moving through the world in silence. This mystery has a name: the hard problem of consciousness. And decades after it was identified, it remains unresolved, disturbing, and strangely beautiful. The reason this problem refuses to fade is that it is not just another scientific puzzle. It strikes at the heart of what it means to be human. Modern science knows how to trace neural signals, map brain regions, decode patterns of thought, and simulate decision-making in machines. But none of this explains why there is a movie happening inside your head at all. We can observe neurons firing and identify which parts of the brain correspond to memory, vision, or emotion, yet nowhere in the brain do we find something called experience. There is no neuron labeled sadness, no circuit marked joy, no physical structure that holds the color red or the taste of sweetness. A brain scan might show activity correlated with fear, but it never shows what fear feels like. This is not a technical oversight, but a conceptual gap so deep it bears the limits of science itself. Electricity can be measured, but experience has no voltage. Matter can be weighed, but meaning has no mass. Consciousness does not behave like an object in the world. It is the place from which the world is seen, and that makes it uniquely difficult to study. To see how strange this is, imagine a perfect copy of yourself, identical in every physical detail. The same memories, the same reactions, the same behavior. From the outside, there would be no difference between you and this double. But inside, imagine there is nothing. No feeling, no inner world, no awareness. The idea is chilling because if such a creature is even conceivable, it suggests that consciousness is not the same thing as physical structure. There appears to be something about experience that escapes anatomy, chemistry, and computation. Some people believe artificial intelligence will close this gap, but simulation is not sensation. A machine may behave intelligently, but behavior alone does not prove that there is something it is like to be that machine. A system can process information, generate language, and imitate emotion, yet still remain inwardly dark. Feeling is not code. Awareness is not an algorithm. Consciousness does not announce itself in data. It is known only from within, and that makes it radically different from anything science has ever studied. Many theories attempt to solve this mystery, but each creates further problems. If consciousness is nothing but brain activity, then we are left asking why that activity feels like anything at all. If the mind is separate from matter, then we must explain where and how they meet. If consciousness exists everywhere, then we must explain why human awareness is so remarkably rich. Every answer repairs one crack and opens three more. The closer science moves toward the center of consciousness, the more it seems to dissolve in its hands. Even language begins to fail when we try to capture experience. You cannot describe red to someone who has never seen color. You cannot reduce pain to a sentence. You cannot define love without losing its essence. This is because consciousness is not information. It is lived reality. You can list facts about the ocean, but words will never make you wet. Consciousness is not something you observe. It is what you observe through. It is the stage on which all knowledge appears, yet it cannot itself appear as just another object on that stage. This raises a deeper question. What if consciousness is not created by the universe, but is something the universe does? What if awareness is not a side effect of evolution, but a fundamental feature of reality, like time or space? What if we are not merely bodies that sometimes feel, but feeling itself temporarily occupying a body? If the hard problem is ever truly solved, everything changes. Our understanding of death would change. our view of intelligence would change. Ethics, technology, and identity would be rewritten. If consciousness is not just a biological accident, then you are not just matter arranged in a clever pattern. You are part of something astonishingly deeper. The hard problem remains hard not because science is weak, but because reality is strange. It resists simplification. It refuses reduction. It humbles every attempt to control it with formulas. The deeper we explore the brain, the more consciousness slips from our grasp. We find neurons. We find circuits. We find incredible biological machinery. But we never find the self. We never locate awareness. We never isolate the feeling of being alive. You are not merely inside the universe. The universe is happening inside you. Your thoughts, memories, fears, and hopes are not floating in space. They are shaping your entire sense of reality. In a world of fire and dust, you awaken into awareness, and nothing in physics explains that awakening. No theory captures it. No equation holds it. No machine reproduces it. Perhaps that is not a failure of knowledge, but the signature of something sacred about consciousness. You will never see awareness the way you see an object. You will never measure it the way you measure time. You will never download it or replicate it, but you will always be it. And maybe the hardest problem is not explaining consciousness at all. Maybe the hardest problem is realizing that the mystery you have been trying to solve is the one you are living inside of.